Chat. Hello, hello.
Hello. I think we have sound now. Jesus Christ. What is going on? Welcome, everybody. Give me about 3 minutes. I'm going to get something to drink, and then we'll get this shit show. Oh, Lord have mercy. Am I sounding all right? Am I blowing things out? Fuck, who knows? I have to be honest with you. This seems like a doom show from the start. We'll get started in a minute, I promise. I'm just going to grab something to drink. All right. Hey, let's get this party started.
Welcome to the Tea Party with Marty Abernathy, a show by an ultra-feminine, meek, shy, totally unopinionated trans woman that seeks to listen to both sides and does not make fun of TERFs. You've listened to the show, right? You still want me to say this? Okay. Here's your host, Marty Abernathy.
Welcome to the show, everyone. Yeah, this has been an interesting show so far. let's everything seemed to decide to not want to work. I had everything like plotted out, and then where did it go? So you'll just have to give me a sec to get all, because basically I had to reboot everything, which actually it looks like Opera's loading exactly how I needed it to. By the way, I'm really excited about tonight's show though, because there's a lot of stuff we can cover. In fact, this is one of the few times that I don't know if I'll get through everything. Like I don't even know how in the hell this VLC skin decided that it was going to be the one tonight. But and Jesus Christ. The only thing that kind of didn't work is like the brightness on this. Oh my god. This camera. I'm totally washed out. I mean, I know that's not important in the big picture, but yeah. Not cool. Not cool. Kick the all and all of a sudden my camera doesn't want to exposure. Take that off there. There we go. Jesus Christ. Why is everything so fucking hard tonight? Oh, it's like everything is fucking difficult. I don't even know like my browser screen. Yeah. My green screen camera's dying or died. I don't know what the hell went on with it. So when I go to my browser, you're just gonna have to lump it. Sad but true. All right, so and nerd teacher in the chat, yes, I did get your image, and I've decided I'm going to have merch. We're going to put that up, and I'm going to buy one myself, so I don't even care. If anybody knows of any good sites, like, what do you call it? Like for t-shirt, like Teespring. I think is that a good one? I don't know. I just got to get my videos loaded without fucking loading all of them at once. All right. Yeah, some random geek. When it comes to technology, like usually I have a pretty good handle on it, but tonight it's just everything's grumpy. Let's see.
In two separate videos by white people saying that Palestine deserves less of our support because of anti-queer laws in the Middle East.
All right. Well, this will have to do. At least we can see things. Oh dear. So, welcome to the Tea Party. By the way, you can help me out by going to teapartypodcast.com. I have put links to everything there. I have put links to okay. Okay, I have a reason for this. So I how do I put this? I'm on Gab now and Parler in a funny way. I have profile, and first off, let me just say Parler is a mess. I want to show you guys this actually. So I'm gonna transfer you over to here. So, like I said, you won't be seeing me when I'm in the, because for some reason this camera decided to die, and yeah. So, this is my Parlor page, right? Trump won. So if you go over here to profile, let's see. Oh, it works. Yesterday it wasn't. So I said the leftist your Fox News watching mother warned you about. Brought to you by the transgender agenda. I got I got I got some fans, it looks like. So that's on Parlor. But there's a reason I did this. So I'm on Gab as well. Gab is a dumpster fire. Let's see if I can get this Gab. Because it's not loaded in the tab. So Gab is fucking, oh, I've got a notification there. So this person, Andrew Torba, is literally the founder of Gab, right? So you would think that, I don't know, maybe he might not be a flamey, fiery butthole. Hopefully that didn't get me shut off of YouTube. But you would think so. You would think that he liked this post. Okay. You need to have some perspective on this. This is the founder of Gab. On this day in 2004, Martin Heemeyer, after having his welding business driven to bankruptcy by corrupt city officials, drove his armored Komatsu D355A into City Hall, the mayor's house, and the business of those council members that had ruined him. And the caption says, "Sometimes reasonable men must do unreasonable things." So this is what they think a reasonable man is. Oh dear God. This is what Marvin John Heemeyer was an automobile muffler repair shop owner who demolished numerous buildings with a modified bulldozer. Heemeyer had feuded with Granby town officials, particularly over fines for violating city health ordinances, after officials made it financially impossible for Heemeyer to connect to the city sewage system. He was subsequently fined for improperly dumping sewage from his business instead of connecting it to the city sewer system. His feud came to a head on July 4th, 2004. Over about 18 months, Heemeyer had secretly modified this bulldozer by adding steel and concrete intended as serving as armor. He used this to demolish Granby Town Hall, the former mayor's house, several other buildings. Heemeyer's rampage concluded with a suicide after the bulldozer became trapped in the basement of the hardware store he was destroying. And like this is what they're calling for. Jordan Joan P said, when you said Gab, I first heard Gap and was very confused. Like, why does a clothing store need a line of its own, or Why does a clothing line need its own social media site? Yeah, no, it's not the Gap. It's Gab. But seriously, look at this shit. Like, this is the person that runs Gab is calling for people to do this. He's calling for it. Oh my God. So this is God built me this job. He also said it was God's plan for him to not be married or have a family so that he could be in a position to carry out such an attack. I think God will bless me with the machine done to drive it and do stuff that I have to do. God blessed me in advance for the task that I am about to undertake. It is my duty. God has asked me to do this. It's the cross that I am going to have to carry, and I'm carrying it in God's name. This is the person that the head of Gab is liking, and basically by liking, suggesting other people go out and do this. Because this is a reasonable man, apparently. Apparently, when you don't get your way, when you lose elections, you become a little crybaby. I wish that this was somehow unbelievable, but it's really not. They literally are. They are the biggest crybabies that you've ever seen. I mean, so think about this. Let me bring this up. Okay. So this is Gab's founder. The murder of 11 people at a Pittsburgh synagogue Saturday, and this was when? When was this? October 2018. The murder of 11 people at a Pittsburgh synagogue Saturday has brought new attention to Gab, the social media service that bills itself as a pro-free speech and serves as a gathering place for white supremacists, neo-Nazis, and other extremist figures online. I guess including its founder, who's calling for people to do this shit. Shortly before Bowers attacked the Tree of Life Synagogue in Squirrel Hill, Pennsylvania, he posted to Gab, "Screw your optics, I'm going in." He wrote to an audience that included white nationalists, some of whom had been kicked off mainstream sites like Twitter and Facebook, and joined Gab, which was founded in 2016. According to the Securities and Exchange Commission, approximately 635,000 people were registered on Gab in September of 2018. By comparison, Twitter averaged about 326 million monthly users during the same time period. So it goes through all that, but literally, this is like Gab isn't going anywhere. This is after they lost all their servers. CEO Andrew Torba declared in a statement posting to the now deactivated homepage, "We will exercise every possible avenue to keep Gab online and defend free speech and individual liberty for all people, except people that have a building and get bulldozed by, reasonable people." So, yeah, this is the kind of person that runs Gab. And like literally this is the kind of shit, like literally this is Michael Flynn. This is Michael Flynn.
John, we got to switch gears here to what we just heard in Whitney's reporting from former President Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn, at this conference over the weekend, a conference featuring QAnon believers. suggesting a military coup should take place in the United States, just like it did and it is going on in Myanmar. Watch this moment again.
Yeah.
I want to know why what happened in Myanmar can't happen here. No reason. I mean, it should happen here. No reason. Right? That's right.
It should happen here. It should happen here. Okay. Maybe some of you all don't know what happened in Myanmar. So here's what's going on right now.
Simple Marine.
Oh, sorry.
I want to know why what happened in Myanmar.
Let's talk about what's currently happening in Myanmar. Myanmar military attacked Chin State, where they used RPGs, machine guns, and artillery to attack public buildings and homes. Over 10,000 people fled to the jungle, where they have scarce food and medical supplies, and they are in danger of monsoon season, where there will be heavy flooding. Danny Fester is an American citizen and a journalist that worked for the Myanmar frontier. He was arrested on May 24th on his way home to the U.S. He was transferred to a prison called Insane, which is known for human rights abuses. Nguyen is another U.S. citizen and American journalist that was working for the Kamayot News that was arrested back in March. 2 other reporters were also detained. Young, who is with the Democratic Voice of Burma. Zozo was also detained. He worked for Myanmar News, and him and Young have been sentenced to 2 years in prison for reporting on anti-coup protests. There have been 841 people who have died in the violence against the Myanmar military. The military has revoked the licenses of many news organizations in an attempt to silence them to talk about what's really happening in Myanmar. The U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman said that the detention of Daniel and Nathan, as well as the use of violence by the Burmese military against the journalists, constitutes an unacceptable attack of the freedom of expression in Burma. The U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman said that the detention of Daniel and Nathan, as well as the use of violence by the Burmese military against the journalists, constitutes an unacceptable attack of the freedom of expression in Burma.
So that is what's going on in Burma, or in Myanmar. Myanmar. Yeah. Military coup in Burma. I've heard of it from Democracy Now! Yeah, see, that's the thing. You literally have, this is what people on the sore losers in the Trump camp are calling for. They are calling for a military coup. This is how bad of of losers they are. They can't just take they can't just take the L. They literally just have to keep on going. And this isn't just, back when I was a kid, there used to be people, John Birchers, or who I would call, most of them were like John Birch Society types. And they would talk about fluoride in the fucking drinking water and all that kind of stuff. And it was weird, but it was something that went on, and like you could just kind of say, oh, those people over there, they're kind of wacky, but they never really had an impact on the society like these people are. Like, they literally, I'm sorry, but they are literally like a cancer on this country. it is weird and odd and disgusting. It's so many different things, man. It's unbelievable. I mean, I usually aren't I'm usually not too afraid of this kind of stuff, but like literally the people that are capitalizing on top of this stuff are pushing it hard. I mean, here's another post. Let me show you this. This is another post. Just in, Nigeria indefinitely suspends Twitter in the country. Like, and he says based, which that is well, let's go to Urban Dictionary. If you don't know what based means. Basically, it means cool, but on the right side. A word used when you agree with something or when you want to recognize someone for being themselves, courageous, unique, or not caring what others think. Especially common in online political slang. The opposite of cringe, sometimes the opposite of biased. Base, dude. It's from 4chan. Who's shocked? Oh dear. So, Twitter being silenced. This is what is ironic. These people will sit there and talk about fucking free speech. Oh, I've been kicked off Twitter. This is my free speech rights. So they want Twitter shut down. Okay? Does that make any fucking sense at all? I mean, if you think, I mean, I personally don't feel like that that you should have that you have a right to free speech on Twitter. It's not a public platform. It's a business. And I don't want it to be a business. I would love if Twitter and the internet, if the internet became a public service that was available to everyone. The only way that you can call it free speech is if everyone can get on it. Because you go down to the corner square, no one can restrict you from speaking. They can restrict you from having an audience, but they can't stop you from speaking. You can't demand that people listen to you. But Twitter is not that. Twitter is a private company. But like literally their whole point over and over again. Let's do this. Let's go. Free speech. Oh, apparently they're oh, Gab is so awful. Like nothing works. Is that not look at oh my god, that's fucking awful. Let's see. I want to maybe it's because I'm not logged in. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe. So here we go. All right. So this is on my other browser. So we want top search. I don't want people. I don't want groups. This is fucking look at this. Like, you can't even search by post. God, this is such an unusable site. Anyways, yeah, I'm just really shocked at how awful this. Just very unusable. Here, first Nigeria, now India. Countries are banning Twitter instead of allowing them to dictate who can have a voice in their country. Amazing. So, literally, these people think that it's not censorship to ban an entire site, but it is censorship to kick them off. I know my free speech rights. Yeah. And the fun, not funny, but the odd thing is that they see no irony in this. Anyways, I just thought that was rather amusing, considering. By the way, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. Because I have 3 cameras altogether. Only one of them is working at the moment, which is really weird. Anyways, it doesn't matter because it's the weirdest thing. Like, I have 2 cameras and this is so fucking weird. This is my night in a nutshell, basically. I have a browser window now that apparently I am huge on. Huge. There we go. All right. So let's transition here. I'm going to work on transitions in the next couple weeks. It's weird because a trans person's doing it, but and this camera's all fucked up. Too. So, yeah. Oh God. Well, part of it's all right. So that works. That's all right. At least it's somewhat working. Some random geek in the chat says Twitter being silenced in a country, that is a bad thing in my mind. It's because of Twitter that we are aware of so many things going on in the world. I know, and they're celebrating this. They're literally celebrating this. The thing that gets me out of all this is just how inconsistent they are with their outrage, with their just everything, really. It's sorry, folks. I'm just trying to bring my playlist up. That is how OBS is pro-trans, because you transition in the program. Exactly. VLC is not, though, because I'm having problems being able to move of files. So yeah, the whole Myanmar thing, and like literally what they want is fascism. That is literally what they want. They want fascism. And it's gross. It's very gross. So some people, getting on another topic, there's this cop video going around that I want you guys to see. So this comes from our friend over on TikTok, Commie Trucker, who is amazing. He does some amazing work, and there are a lot of clips tonight that are from him. And here's one.
So tell me how's it feel? Tell me how's it feel?
Police are not an ethnicity.
So, anyways, I want you to see this. Every day I want to throw this badge out at the window because of the media has portrayed cops into being monsters. And he just gets mad and is going to punch it. Punch it. Because that's not violent at all.
Police are not an ethnicity. They are not a repressed economic group. People choose to be police knowing that that job is going to make people's lives worse. You're not a victim. You're a bully.
Boing! Yep. ACAB. I had to laugh today because let me bring this. Let me bring this around. So I was on TikTok today. I was on the ticks and the talks. And hopefully I'm still logged in. Yay. All right. So check this shit out. So I got this.
So tell me how's it feel? Tell me.
Okay, so this is on the cops page, by the way. And apparently this this kid here, Tristan. I want to view some of these. They were freaking hilarious. This person says, "Then call a crackhead when you get mugged." I said, "You struggle with logic. Do you not?" Or, oh. No, these comments are all out of whack. Tristan says, "Oh, but let's go." Tristan said, "How can you give everyone in the police force a label that isn't true?" And I said, "But it is." "Oh, but it isn't. Just like you're a guy, but you're given a label that isn't true, like being a girl, like bra." And I said, LOL. Yeah, because trans people have a couple hundred years of systematically oppressing minority communities. Totally the same. Oh, and then so I travel over to old Tristan's page. Let's see if he's still got it up. Yes.
Should I join the special forces for the army?
Shocking. He wants to be a bully himself. He wants to go around the world and bully other people. Oh, God. It's so fucking predictable. And I said, "You struggle with logic. Do you not know that what systematic means? There are no good cops in the same way there are no good pyramid schemes." Oh my God. And that's the thing. This person down here says, "Honestly, yeah, I would have I would. I've called the cops and they didn't do shit for the didn't do shit. The local crackhead would probably get my stuff back, which is fucking probably the truth. Cops don't do anything. And the reality okay, what do they call it? Cleared. Let's this could be dangerous. You don't need to see my browser history. That's why I use two browsers. So let's look at this. Cleared statistics, police. Clearance rate. Right? Clearance rate is the rate of crime. Let's do it. US. So if you look at clearance rates, how much crime is there in the United States? Two primary sources, the FBI and the Bureau of Justice Statistics, paint an incomplete picture. But the clearance rate is let me do a word search. Clearance. Sorry. In 2019, police nationwide cleared 45% of violent crimes. So half of all violent crime went unpunished. And that just means somebody was charged. That doesn't mean somebody was found guilty. That means 45% of all violent crimes that were reported to them, and 17.2% of property crimes were cleared. Most of the crime that is reported to police, meanwhile, are not solved. Fewer than half of crimes were reported, and fewer than half are solved. So what the fuck are the cops doing? Well, that's a good question. Is anybody, by the way, is it anybody in Twitch? If you have a Twitch and I've given you moderator, and it looks like there's somebody fucking doing some spamming in Twitch. Nerd teacher. And I'm just going to say that when I lived in rural town in Illinois, my house got broken into. And the first people who offered to help me were people literally in the meth house behind me. No cops involved, and they helped me replace things. Some random geek said Robert Evans had his backpack stolen out of his car in front, again, in front of the San Francisco Police Department, and the cops told him, "What do you expect us to do?" Oh. Some random geek says I need to give him mod power. Oh dear Jesus. But I mean, that's the thing. What do cops do? Well, you know what they do? this is what they do. Carol Horn, who was on the Buffalo, no, she was on the Buffalo police force. She tried to stop fellow officer Greg Kowalski from choking a suspect named Neil Mack. And after watching George Floyd stop breathing under the knee of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, Horn recalled when she was interviewed, Neil Mack looked like he was about to die. So had I not stepped in, he possibly could have. He was handcuffed and being choked. Mack, who also spoke to CBS this morning in the same time period, maintains Horn saved his life. He was choking me. I was handcuffed. So Carol Horn was a police officer that felt like a fellow officer was endangering this cuffed person's life. The mother of 5 was fired by her department after it was found her use of force against a fellow officer was unjustified. So don't fucking tell me. Don't tell me. By the way, I am in chat. It looks like I am streaming Call of Duty, which is pretty funny. Because I was streaming Call of Duty. I said duty. Some random geek is not here, I think. Oh, here he is. Some random. Does that give you the power? Does that give you the power, some random geek? Because I tried. I really tried. You have the power. Okay. Can you get rid of that? I don't know if I can. I can't see it now. Somebody came through and spammed the chat. Thank you, by the way. Some random geek. You are so awesome. So yeah, this is what this is what happens when cops institutionally try to do the right thing. Within the department, they are fired by trying to do the right thing. So it's just it's tiresome. And she's not the only one. This isn't a one-off.
If you ever wonder if the American policing system is really that bad, just remember Stephen Mater, a police officer who was one of the people to respond to a mental health call for a black man who was suicidal. Mater recognized the man was suicidal, not dangerous, and that his gun was unloaded, so he refused to shoot. But of course, his partners did not make that same choice, and the man ended up being shot. And Mater was the one fired.
He was fired. He was fired for not shooting someone. How do you not say this isn't, like I said, this isn't something that is just, oh, it happens. It's just a bad apple. There's a bunch of fucking bad apples. They're all bad apples. And that's the thing, too, is the old saying, when people, what pisses me off is when people will talk about blood is thicker than water. Well, do you know what the whole saying is? Because blood is thicker than water implies that blood in war is thicker than water from birth. So it's saying something about being in a war. And the whole thing about bad apples is a couple of bad apples spoil the bunch. Guess what that is, folks? That's called what is that called? Systemic bad apple rotting. Oh God. Some nerd teacher Nicole in the chat said, well, what gets me is like people outside of America being, well, our cops aren't that bad. And it's like, no, they really are. They're just not that bad for you. Some random geek said some people have said there are bullies in other professions too. And that's the thing. There are, but that's not the job. That's the funny thing. That's not the job. It's so fucking ridiculous. It makes me I just get so irritated by it all. Nerd teacher said specifically our cops have beaten Roma people within an inch of their lives. Just because they don't have or use guns doesn't make them better. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Here in the UK, the cops have a lot less power to use violence, but they still, like, there was a protest recently where literally women were thrown to the ground and arrested. So it's one of the, to me, it's one of those things that you have to be really just bigoted up front. By the way, I think Mosquito Jones on TikTok says it very well.
Tell me how's it feel? Tell me how's it feel?
First time she caught that fist with her hand on her face, I bet. Look, I have a right to be.
First that comment about her catching the fist with her face. If you don't think that's funny, go look at the statistics for spousal violence within the police force, and it's rampant.
Good to you, dude, whether you deserve it or not. And as a willful agent of the state that is doing nothing to stop the other willful agents of the state who murder us, who betray us, who commodify us, who abuse us, understand that I'm giving you a mercy you don't deserve. But if you really think about throwing that badge out the window, do it. Get a different job. Somewhere where you're safe and productive. Somewhere where you don't have this agony on your mind every day. Because while you're a cop and therefore inherently a bastard, you still deserve at least 30 seconds of peace every day. And I don't give a fuck if you get it while you got that badge.
Boom. Oh, yeah. Right on the money.
So tell me how's it feel?
I need to like not play that song so much. And this is the that's the original video, and it's like, what? Yes, and people in the chat were talking about yes, it was Sarah Everand, and that was murdered by a cop. And literally, you would think the police would have like a modicum of just respect for the fact that it was a police officer that killed her. And I mean, but no, they throw women to the ground, and yeah, that's what happens. So I have to laugh at this. I don't know why I don't have sound on it though. Why don't I have sound? Oh, that's too bad. Oh. Oh. God damn it. I just I don't know why I can't hear the audio. This is the kind of night I'm having.
To cosplay in public.
There we go. Yeah.
Horrifying. Who would protect us? Gosh, who would protect us from getting murdered while we're asleep? Like Breonna Taylor and Ayanna Stanley Jones. Who would protect us from getting murdered when we're on our couch eating ice cream like Botham Jean? Who would protect us from getting murdered when we're sitting in the backseat of a car being a straight A student committing no crimes? Jordan Edwards. Who will protect us when we're riding our bike down the street doing nothing? Patrick Harmon. Who would protect us if we went to cosplay in public?
Just a few bad apples.
Darian Hunt. Shut your mouth. My 45 protects me. Shut your mouth.
I love that. You know, for the longest time, like I said before, I considered myself a pacifist. But I don't think in this climate you can be a pacifist. And that's the difference between being liberal and being a leftist. Leftists basically want small changes around the edges. They don't want to change anything really. They just want to fix things around. They don't want revolution. And this is
how far would you drive for the girl of your dreams?
I would drive anywhere.
What about to Nebraska?
Oh,
we go to Nebraska.
No.
If you didn't get that, they were taking the sound, but it basically they're saying when it comes to liberals, they'll be like, revolution, fuck no, fuck that. And this is what I think of that.
Violence is never the answer. If you have to achieve your goal through violence, it's not a good goal. Violence isn't the answer, dummy. It's the question. The answer is yes.
And I think that is right on the money. I mean, what stopped fascists before? What has always stopped fascists? The only thing I mean, hate to say it. Have you ever watched, what is the movie? What is the movie? Curb Stomp Nazi movie. American History X. Have you 10 movie scenes that went too hard, went too far. Edward Norton. Yeah. But I have to ask, fascists, what in World War II, what stopped fascists? It wasn't talking, it wasn't debate. It was violence. That was the only thing that stopped fascists. And I want to ask people, have you heard a lot from Richard Spencer? Has he been in the media? Has he been in the media that often?
Neo-Nazi.
He hasn't. Why is that? Why hasn't he been around? Gosh, I wonder why. We must go look.
Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me,
Following
actually.
the KKK, neo-Nazi.
Those people don't like me.
Are you
to be
like
honest.
the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement?
It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
Good work, soldier.
Shield flag.
Freedom prevails.
No, that was a joke, but that's what happened. Like the guy literally got punched and literally hasn't been the same person since. So you can't say that it doesn't work. At the same time, you anyways, I wanted to kind of switch gears here. I wanted to talk about transphobes. I saw this video and I was gonna go get a bunch of research. I was gonna do a bunch of research, but this video just fucking owns these jackasses. So I don't need to do the research. You can go look at the.
Being too tall and being trans are not the same thing.
I never said they were. I was comparing the reasoning behind it.
No one is arguing that T people shouldn't play sports.
You could just say the word trans. It's not a slur. And use like basic reasoning, you would know what I was actually saying. Was that they're banning transgender women from participating in women's sports.
So that they could play in teams and tournaments where they don't have an unfair advantage.
Most transgender athletes do not have an unfair advantage. We can look at the systematic review by Bethany Alice Jones to see what I'm talking about here. This study talks about a couple different things, like how most trans people are not comfortable being in sports anyway because of the discrimination they face, but also about how there is no direct or consistent research that suggests that transgender females have any advantage. So unless you can provide a source that says so, it's a baseless claim. No one is saying if a 50-year-old transitions, they should be able to kill women in boxing. This debate, for the most part, is about youth. And the fact is that if you transition before puberty and use hormones for a year to 2 years, there's almost no difference between you and someone who's cis. Follow for common sense.
And someone that's 50 is not going to fucking get into a boxing ring because that brings a different kind of fucking peril. It's absurd. It's absurd. And you know what? People will sit there and say, well, Martina Navratilova is just blah, blah, blah. She's not a doctor. She's not an expert. She's not an expert. And you know what I trust? I trust the science and I trust experts. It might not be perfect, but Christ, these people don't even. Some random geek, did you steal that? Did you steal that? I mean, we know that D-Day stands for Debate Day. Oh my God. These people debate me. Debate me. There was actually somebody on Gab that was pissed off that or on Parlor, they were pissed off because they made a block function. And I know that that it's one of those things that is misogynistic, but the bunny boiler scene, and when I forget the actor's name, but she said, "I will not be ignored." That is these folks. They literally want it so that you're forced to listen to them, and it's absurd. It's absolutely absurd. Oh my God, I have some funny things coming up, but I don't want to play them just yet, but they make me laugh. But yeah, transphobes, debate me transphobes are so tiresome. It's like that whole thing right there. It's just it's bro debate me culture. Like literally, the guy in the video. Okay, so this guy in the video. Let's look back here. Okay, so here is Kendon Farr. Let's just go look at Kendon Farr. By the way, Kendon Farr. Let's go look at him. Kendon Farr. Let's go look at his TikTok profile. Tepid Tory. Less hate, more debate. So, like, this is literally his gig. He's a quote debate bro. Debate me, bro. This is a fucking clout chaser. That's all he is. Because this just plays on people's ignorance. It doesn't play on science. He's a wannabe fucking Carl Sargon of the Cod. He's more like just cod. He's a cod piece. Yeah, so yeah. There's no science but with what they're saying. That's what kills me. It's all about my feelings. I feel like that they have more muscles. I feel like, now if you look at the science, it's not true, but that's how I feel. Facts over feelings? Not with these folks. Not with these folks. It's not about science. They don't care about the science. So yeah, dude, bro, debate me. Another thing, trans wise, that I wanted to point out was a couple videos on rapid onset gender dysphoria. This is something that is made to sound like it's a clinical thing, but it's not. It's fake. It's along the lines of post-abortion syndrome, which again doesn't. It's fake. It's made up by people that are. There's no clinical research that supports it as a syndrome. It's just not. So, with that in mind,
I'm a professor and I teach research methods. Let me tell you about why I use Lisa Littman's study on rapid onset gender dysphoria to teach my students about sampling bias. To research trans young people's gender identities, Littman posted her recruitment flyer on anti-trans websites. She recruited parents into her study, and she didn't talk to any trans youth. And then based on the parental accounts, she concluded that trans young people's identities are spreading like a social and peer contagion, like a disease. Who's more likely to visit a website called Trans Trender? Is it parents who are more or less accepting of their trans kids? When only a certain segment of the population are included in studies, like transphobic parents, that is what we call a sampling bias. Here's one paper that I use to teach and another. So that's your assigned reading.
all right. Sorry about the music, by the way, but people will put TikTok, will put music behind the TikToks, and if I don't play music underneath them that confuses the algorithm, it will boot me. It will basically mute the audio. So this is a way to get around that.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. And the deeper that you dive into this study, the more effed up it gets. The term rapid onset gender dysphoria was already floating around in these anti-trans online forums where Littman recruited parents from. And then the parents are instructed to diagnose their own children with gender dysphoria and to comment specifically on when the presentation of gender dysphoria first emerged. And parents were surveyed on whether their kids watched a lot of transition YouTube videos or if they had a lot of trans friends. So parents are all of a sudden mental health professionals and also know everything that's going on in their children's lives.
So yeah, that's TERFs for you. They can't be honest in their, they always have to be. I always say they're conservatives because they fucking are. They won't debate you with science. Okay, I have to share one of these funny videos or I'm gonna die. This one made me laugh.
Costumers. Here we are, Barney Boy, costumers. What kind of costume you gonna get? Well, I'm gonna get something that makes me look tall. How about another hat? Another one? What do I need 3 of them for?
Oh, I've seen stuff like that in Bugs Bunny, but I've never seen it in Fred Flintstone. So if he gets another head, that would be 2. So what's he talking about? I wonder. Oh my God. You guys don't know? That's Fred Flintstone.
Costumers. Here we are, Barney Boy, costumers. What kind of costume you gonna get? Well, I'm gonna get something that makes me look tall. How about another hat? Another one? What do I need 3 of them for?
I had the same response. I was like, you ruined my childhood. Because I used to watch that every day at 4 o'clock. Because that's when Fred Flintstone was on. Every day at 4 p.m. when I got off school. Anyways. Did I get rid of all the queers shouldn't support I found this interesting.
In 2 separate videos by white queer people saying that Palestine deserves less of our support because of anti-queer laws in the Middle East. And you know what? Fuck you and fuck your transactional activism. Because if activism was transactional, you wouldn't have rights. Because Black trans women were the people who first fought for rights in America and in the West. And if they hadn't done it, even though no one was fighting for their rights, you wouldn't have rights right now. So maybe you should let that sink in. And maybe you should also do some critical thinking. Firstly, about the queer Palestinians that you're erasing who are suffering in Palestine. Secondly, about the fact that you think it's right to condemn people to death, open air prisons, and bombing because of their beliefs. And thirdly, about the propaganda that you're consuming. Because if you don't realize that the white queer community, because of their proximity to whiteness, can be weaponized for the pursuit of colonialist and racist ideals in the exact same way that the white women are, I don't know what to tell you. So kindly take your pinkwashing, your transactional activism, your privilege, and your inability to critically think, and fuck off.
Bam! I think that's right to the point. And this is along the same lines.
Never forget that homophobia, biphobia, intersexism, and transphobia are a direct result of colonization and imperialism. Always be critical of the pinkwashing of settler nation states and their selective history. Have a beautiful day.
I love that there's pride in Tel Aviv. So progressive of them.
I know, right? Like, who cares that Israel's actively oppressing queer and non-queer Palestinians alike?
Or that Israel allies itself with homophobic leaders abroad.
Or that pro-Israel organizations in the US consistently fund anti-LGBTQ politicians.
All that matters is Jewish Israeli settlers and tourists can express themselves freely.
No contest, the most democratic state in the Middle East.
Never forget that homophobia, biphobia,
Yeah.
intersexism, and transphobia are a direct result.
That's right. That is the fucking truth. I found this one interesting too.
Israel is a settler colonial apartheid state. We're the only democracy in the Middle East. Israel is the only democracy in the Middle East. How is Israel a democracy? We're forced to live under its rule and we have no rights. If we say we're a democracy, we are a democracy. Israel is more committed to democratic values than ever. Since you won't budge, we call on the international community to boycott, divest from, and sanction Israel to put an end to its crimes. Palestinians don't want peace. This is anti-Semitism. Criticizing Israel is anti-Semitic. But we didn't say anything about Judaism. We just want justice and liberation. We're being attacked. Israel is once again under attack.
That's pretty much the US and UK media when it comes to the Israel-Palestine thing. But yeah. Something that I found that was pretty amazing. Oh God, some of this stuff I really want to play, but I can't yet. Because we gotta. Okay, have y'all heard of grime? So I'm gonna play this.
No, she absolutely is. And you can see that within the words that she's using because she's framing the argument as if.
Wait. I want to play that, but not yet.
If you think about it, AI is actually the fastest path to communism.
I don't know enough about Grimes to know if she's sincere in wanting to reach out to communists. I don't know what her ideology is. I know she was married to Elon Musk for years, which throws up a big red flag. The thing about AI is that as it stands, as we know of it right now, is that it's a means of production owned by capitalists. And until AI is produced and owned by workers, it will just be another means of exploiting people's labor. So AI could do great things and it could help a lot of people, but not until we dismantle capitalism.
And that's the thing. I think AI is going to be used to make things worse. Basically, you won't have to worry about having labor. Like it's literally something that's going to. I need to make sure my green screen doesn't fall. That didn't help one bit. I don't want it to fall on me. Oh, here we go. How's that? That's better. So, if at first you don't succeed, move that shit over. Well, and Jamie hit it right on the head. Jamie hit it right on the head. I hate people who advocate for AI dictatorships. You hit it right on the fucking head. Listen to this.
Besties, I didn't think I'd have to say this, but stop interacting with Grimes and Elon. They're both literally techno-fascists. Grimes only eats spaghetti. Elon plundered a country for resources and tried to undermine its government. Grimes is using communism as the next stage in their artistic development and is co-opting a political ideology for literally no reason and for attention. And you guys are all falling for it. It's literally a fucking psyop. It's right-wing propaganda inserting the left with stupid ideologies about communism. Like, if you dissect anything that Grimes said about AI, it doesn't make any sense. Communism has always been a problem of ownership. Stop engaging with idiots. It's annoying.
And where's the other one? Oh, poo. Hold on. Let me see. I got this. Din, 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 din. Da, 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 da. Where? Oh, where has my little friend gone? There's this cat on here. Oh, here it is.
No, she absolutely is. And you can see that within the words that she's using, because she's framing the argument as if communists have disliked technology, when the critique was never about the existence of technology and using that to the benefit of our society. The critique has always been about the ownership of this technology. And she's framing this argument under like, actually, technology is good and this will lead us to an egalitarian society. No one was arguing that. The critique was about who the hell is owning this AI and this technology and how is that going to affect us? Because what she's doing is making the case that actually we should embrace technology more. When no one was arguing against that, what people were arguing was that, hey, I don't think your capitalist husband should have ownership of AI and all these things, and it should be in the hands of workers so then they can dictate how this technology is used and how to improve their livelihoods with it. That's the critique. So yeah.
If you have AI in the hands of people that literally all their whole point, people, and the video creator before this was right on point. Look at what Elon Musk has actually done in Bolivia. He tried to have the government overthrown. It's absurd that him and that her and Grimes, or I mean her and Musk are fucking somehow part of building a better world, a more communist world. It's just it's absurd. It's absurd, but people will buy that shit. There are some people, probably more on the liberal side, faux leftists, that will probably fall for that, but I don't know. I think I think it's interesting that some people will fall for that, but oh, by the way, I want what do you guys think of me having sponsors? Because I'm thinking of having this cheese shop sponsor the show.
Hi, gay. Happy Pride Month. We are sashaying away with deals. This month at the Butter Shop, we're running a special deal. If you can prove that you're queer, you get 3 pints off your choice of creamed, chucked, or drowned butter. And if you do mouth stuff, you get 4. We love gay, and it's awesome. So come visit. And we also make candles now. Wouldn't a candle be nice for gay stuff? In the bedroom or just hanging out. Yeah, we wouldn't. Wouldn't your partner want butter from the original old maid's home? We've been making butter since 1945, and we've been accepting all people since the last 4 months. So yeah, we're gagging for you to come take a taste of Cecily's Butter Shop at Cecily's Butter Shop. My friend's mom, I think is gay, so we think it's cool. Turn it off, Willard.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that is so. But something a little bit more serious. So I wanted to play this.
So I recently posted a video response to a Black creator, a Black woman, as a matter of fact. And considering the amount of discussion taking place in the comments, I've decided this deserves more conversation, no matter how difficult it is. So let's look at the original video.
I don't like white people.
Well, it's unfortunate. It's sad. It's also completely understandable. I mean, when one considers the history of colonialism, the systemic nature of racism and white supremacy, it's really, truly a sad, unfortunate, understandable position.
All right. So there are a number of you in the comments, BIPOC, white privileged individuals, all across the spectrum, saying that her position is racist. I have to say that I disagree, because racism requires systemic structure and a dominant group. And as a Black woman in American society, she simply doesn't belong to a privileged or dominant group in our society. She doesn't. However, anyone who took the time to actually look at the full content of her page would see she's a Black woman who has experienced a great deal of trauma at the hands of white privileged individuals. As a result, she doesn't like white people. That considered, as I said in my original video, it's sad. It's unfortunate, but it's understandable. The same way we would understand that if an individual was bitten by a dog once, they might have an aversion to dogs, maybe even just dogs that look exactly like the dog or the same size or the breed as the dog that bit them. But then if they hang around dogs again and a dog takes off one of their fingers, that person probably isn't going to like dogs anymore, even though there's a lot of really good dogs that don't bite. Those around that individual may not agree. They may think it's sad that that individual can't make friends with dogs anymore. They may find it disappointing that that individual isn't willing to give other dogs a chance, even the good ones. But we can still empathize. We can understand why that individual who's been mauled by a dog twice doesn't like dogs. And maybe they won't always not like dogs. Maybe they'll learn to trust the dogs that show that they can be trusted. But in the meantime, we don't ostracize them for not liking dogs. We empathize. We express patience, love, and understanding. But you'll notice that creator's content is gone now because it was filled with racist rhetoric thrown at her, filled with white people doing exactly what she feared they would do, blatantly showing their racism.
Yep. So, yeah. I wanted to play a couple more serious video, just odds and ends, but that I found interesting. This one is about misogyny.
To risk my life to protect you. That's my job as a man. And you have a problem making a coffee?
Yes, dude. Dude, just make your own damn coffee. It's not that deep. Also, why are you wearing her shirt? I mean, she's pretty generous from what I can tell. You take her labor, you take her shirt. What more are you gonna take? You really should not be dating. You should be in therapy. But my biggest concern is not with him. It's with the men and boys who are deciding to listen to him, who are giving him these platforms, because they have decided to look for guidance as to how to treat women in relationships from other men. You know, men no longer get to impose things on women. Men no longer get to decide for women, interpersonally, systemically, and structurally. Men no longer get to unilaterally decide what is good for women and then impose it on us, and then expect women to just deal with it. Any rules about romantic relationships set by men without any input from women is invalid, untrustworthy, and misogynistic. Ask the woman how she'd like to be treated. That's your job as a man.
Yup. Yep. And this one, I wanted to.
Apparently backed by the intelligence community, according to Biden, the same intelligence community that said Iraq had weapons of...
I feel like her analysis in this video would be halfway decent if she wasn't so focused on directing it at Biden and shoehorning in conservative talking points. She's like, Biden citing the intelligence agencies and they lied us into Iraq. And it's like, yes, that's true. But then her whole beef is Biden saying he's going to focus on doing something about white supremacy. Like, what? Who cares? White supremacy is on the rise. Criticize Biden for shooting missiles at Syria because that kind of stuff destabilizes countries and encourages the creation of these extremist groups you're telling us are so much worse than white supremacists. Maybe tell Biden to stop funding and arming extremist groups in Syria and calling it humanitarian aid. In the 70s, the US funded the Mujahideen, who later became the Taliban, who would do 9/11. Another issue that you say you care about deeply in this video. Moral of the story, stop being a conservative and be a socialist.
Which is on point, but yeah. I also thought this was interesting. I'll show you.
You know what really grinds my gears? That there are several generations that don't understand why JFK's speech is so important. Here's a little taste.
For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day, It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are conceived.
Isn't that interesting? Kennedy's basically calling out the intelligence community for what it is. All right. All right. I don't super love China, but there's one thing about China that you cannot can't dismiss, and it's this. This is reality. According to the World Bank, more than 850 million Chinese people have been lifted out of extreme poverty. China's poverty rate fell from 88% in 1981 to 0.7% in 2015, as measured by the percentage of people living on the equivalent of the U.S. $1.90 a day or less in 2011 purchasing price parity terms. You can't deny that China has lifted people out of poverty. You can say they were bad with the Uyghurs and that kind of thing, but you can't say that it hasn't been successful in stopping poverty. I mean, look at that. 800, literally, that 850 million, that's twice, more than twice the population of the United States. They've literally lifted more people out of poverty than twice the population of the United States. That is interesting and unbelievable, but totally believable. Jamie says 2.5. Yeah. That's fucking incredible. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to say today's a very special day. Today is a very special day. The great day in 2004 when Ronald Reagan was consumed by, well, hopefully, consumed by some maggots. Yeah. Don't miss you, Ronnie. Don't miss you one freaking bit. And it is a cause for... There are a few people in history that have that designation, but... By the way, honk if you love
honk,
Jesus.
Jesus honk. If you saves, if you love Jesus, 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 Jesus.
That's a lot of Jesus.
Have a nice day.
That's a lot of Jesus. Let's see that again.
Honk, Jesus, honk. If you saves, if you love Jesus, 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 Jesus. Have a nice day.
Honk if you love Jesus, 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 Jesus. And this one's my last one for the night, but it tickled me.
You know what's really funny? When people call you sheep, but then they go to church on Sunday and call Jesus their shepherd. We're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue.
Y'all are a bunch of sheep, man. But Jesus is my shepherd. Makes total sense. This is a quick show tonight. I think I got to everything that I wanted to, though. I can't believe we got through all those fucking videos. Let me just check and make sure that we did. Because I thought there was a couple more. I would say if you're on TikTok, please go follow Kami_trucker. He's amazing. No, that's it. That's it. I got through everything I wanted to. By the way, if you want to help the show, go to where am I going? teapartypodcast.com. Kind of sad because I got to work night shift tomorrow. So I will hear the first bit of Social Justice Alchemy with John Brockman, Leto, and or some random geek, sometimes Jamie, sometimes Tom, and other rambunctious people. But I'll be listening tomorrow. So just a surprise, y'all. Just a surprise. So I was having some problems with my gaming setup. Let's see. Da 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 da. Yeah, I got it working. So expect some gaming in the future, in the near future. But if you want to help out, go to teapartypodcast.com. You can find links to Patreon, links to all my socials, including Gab, Parlor. Oh, fuck. Honestly, Clapper. See, now every time I see Call of Duty, I think of poop. So it's Call of Your Duty. But yes, I am. So one of the weird things about me is that I hate guns, but I absolutely love Call of Duty. Anything that's in like God, I forget forget the fucking name of it. Anything like military first person shooters. Wreck-It Ralph. No, Jamie. Here. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'll give you an idea. Ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Where's my gaming? In game. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. All right. So my transitions still need to work. So These are the games that I have. Actually, I can get to it here. Battlefield. Yeah, I love Battlefield. Apex Legends. I still haven't kind of learned to use that. Doom. Fallout 76. I've already played the original Fallout 4. Fallout 4, I think. The Forenzas. Fortnite. Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct 2. Killer Instinct Classic. Madden NFL. Madden NFL. NBA. Then there's the Star Wars Jedi Fallen something or other. Star Wars Squadrons. Witcher 3. And then there's I heard this was a really good Japanese game. So these are all the games that I'm playing that I have right now downloaded. I've got yeah. So expect more gaming in the future. Jamie said, I love guns, but I am not into video games. I'm glad it's this way. But yeah, I get it. I do get it. Anyways. Expect more gaming. By the way, I wanted to ask you guys, since you are, a lot of you are my patrons, Jamie J, Leto, Some Random Geek, and David. What would most likely help you to call in, to video chat in, to, and this is everybody in the audience, but I want to have more interaction, but I'm just wondering how I can get that. Would a telephone line be the thing, or a link to Google Meets, or what? I'm just curious about your thoughts about that. Because I do want to get more audience engagement, I think. Oh, Discord. Oh. I'll have to test that out. Jamie, that's an awesome. That's awesome. That's an awesome thought. If the Patreon Discord server had a voice chat room, that would be incredible. I never thought of that. It can have a voice chat room. Easily. I will make that happen. And it's a way for people to I'm just wondering, should the Discord server be something that is accessible to anyone, or just patrons? I don't know. I have to think about that. But yes, Discord. I'm going to make that happen. I can do phone numbers, but it's voice over IP and it ends up being kind of wonky. But Discord. Do you think it should be a Patreon? Make the server public, but make a Patreon only channel, like a voice channel? I'm just trying to think from a perspective of a patron. what I would value. I do want to build community. In fact, I have a really good template to follow. There are a lot of good trans discords out there, but I want one that's a little more open that way, but more anarcho-communist kind of. Yeah. The thing is, yeah. It's all on. Well, I fixed it, Jamie J. I fixed it, I think. By the way, you guys don't need to see my gaming screen anymore. It should. Yes, your persona is very beautiful. But I want to hook something into, and it's sad. It's very pretty. It's sad that Discord doesn't have a video chat option, because that would answer everything for me. But I will think on that. I will implement that, Jamie. Thank you. By the way, I want to play one more thing, because Discord totally has video chat. It does it? Holy shit. Well, I think there's the answer. Just getting everything to work through my board and all that fun stuff. But I have a bunch of cables for that. I want to show you guys this. I've got I'm working too on my transitions, because they suck. I have to fix them. And I feel like I'm floating out here. Woohoo! But if I put the video on the other side, that's something I have to work out too. I'm just working all this shit out. But I wanted to something that really impacted me today.
Don't be so sad. I know it's hard sometimes.
No, that's not what I was looking for. God damn it. Let me get into TikTok over here. Drag it over. So this is from Comrade Sparkles. This is from Comrade Sparkles. Let's see if I can find it. He has another account, and it's under that, I think. Anyways, what he was talking about, mutual aid. And he had asked some of his people on his personal TikTok page to help him out. And I was he said something about mutual aid. I'm trying to find his private. Anyways, he was saying about mutual aid that he had a hard time kind of accepting mutual aid from other people. And that's something that I really hadn't thought of. Because guess what it's called? It's called fucking mutual aid. That means we help each other. And we don't shame each other, or you have to learn not to be shamed by accepting help if you need it. And with that, you can go to charitylinks.page. You can help some of our friends out that are in need, but don't hesitate if you need help yourself, speak up. Because there are people in these communities that will help you, that appreciate you, that love you. Well, Brett, the thing is, Jamie said, mutual aid means I feel significant guilt and I am publicly shamed for even having a Patreon. BreadTube taught me this. That may be true, but you know what? BreadTube's mostly is 95% performative fucking actors. So I really don't give it one flying shit what they say. We help each other. It's what we do. It's mutual means both ways. And that's the thing. People that will guilt you or publicly shame you for having a Patreon, they aren't leftists. And they sure as hell aren't anarchists. So, anyways, I'll get off my high horse right now. But if you need help, ask for it. Because there are people out there in this community that care and appreciate you. So, yeah. Go to charitylinks.page if you can help out, even if it's just a little bit. charitylinks.page. And thank you for Jonathan for keeping that up and being the amazing person that you are. With that, I'm going to call it a night, and because I got to work. Actually, I work night shift tomorrow. Fun times. And I have the hiccups. Even better. So y'all have a good night. I will see most of you on that. I was going to say a station. But Social Justice Alchemy on YouTube. Check it out if you haven't. Social Justice Alchemy. Be there or be square. And I will see you on Wednesday night and probably Monday night playing Call of Duty. Duty. I said duty. Anyways, have a great night, everybody.